welcome to this very special July culminating video. I am joined by some of the world's greatest role players, and it's my absolute privilege to bring you this game. We're going to be playing Bounty Hunter, the new TTRPG that we have released recently, and hopefully you're going to be having a lot of fun. Seth, your check is in the mail for that. There we go. Dreaded, you getting yours too. There we are. All right, so we've got some amazing people. We're going to bring you an amazing game today. We are going to be using Foundry VTT as our VTT of choice. They have provided us some excellent support in this matter, although that might not help my technical failures, who fingers crossed. And all of the maps have been supplied, of course, by Dungeon Fog. Find links down below for both of those amazing pieces of software. Now, who is joining me this evening? Well, of course, you know who each and every single one of them are. Let me start all the way down south, all the way from Australia. Dreaded GM, how you doing?
G'day! Hi, I'm Josh, the Dreaded GM, and I am very lucky to be among these storytellers. I'm very excited to play Bounty Hunter. I have just been chomping at the bit to play this game because it is an amazing system, and I just cannot wait to get into it. If you want to follow where I am, I'm at Twitch, Dreaded GM. The Twitter handle here is there as well, and our community is just a wholesome community that focuses on real play, building creative confidence, and just making the world a better and more wholesome place in any way that we can. So I just want to say quickly to everyone here, thank you so much for having me. I am a little bit starstruck, but okay. I'm gonna get through it. We're gonna have a great time.
You couldn't be in a better setting to be starstruck. Get it?
No. Get it? I get it.
No.
I get it.
No. All right. Michael got it, and he left. Michael, how you doing?
I was doing good before that joke, guy. But hopefully the rest of the game will turn that around. Hi, everybody. My name is Mike. I run things over at Unmade Gaming. We do beer and pretzel style improv tabletop role playing. If you want to find us, you can check us out on Twitch or on YouTube at Unmade Gaming Plays. And come watch some of our stuff. We have like hundreds and hundreds of hours of actual play.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hells yeah. Absolutely. And I love beer and pretzel games so much.
Yeah.
So good.
Some of my best memories of role playing is beers and pretzels.
Right?
Then someone who tried to get me to do all sorts of illegal things once in Indianapolis is none other than Seth Skorkowski. How are you doing, sir?
I am your bad influence, sir. Illegal. By the way, I got him to cut in line to a panel that I was hosting. And he was like, oh, am I allowed it? It's like, I'm hosting the panel, dude. Come on. And so that's what he calls illegal. I am Seth Skorkowski. I have a YouTube channel under the highly imaginative name Seth Skorkowski. So good luck spelling that. Where I usually do game reviews, do RPG philosophy, or just sometimes stupid videos that enter my head. Or you can find me on Twitter under the name S. Skorkowski. Once again, good luck with the very long Eastern European name there. And I'm usually chatting about movies or whatever stupid thing is going through my mind at the time. So, but thank you for having me, Guy. And I hope to eventually, once the con circuit opens fully back up, be a bad influence on you again.
There we go.
I also tried to convince him to like steal a Razor scooter from an old woman and then we could scoot around Indianapolis, but he didn't do that. Oh, and I got him to jaywalk. Okay, I am a bad person.
What's happening?
Yep. And that was all
the
within...
statute of limitations on that.
I know, right?
No crime was broken.
It was all pre-quarantine. It's fine.
Oh yeah.
This was the good old days.
The before time.
Yeah,
The before time.
And then, of course, two wonderful people. First time getting to play with Jameson and another opportunity to play with Satine. Welcome, both of you. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely. So I'm Jameson Stone, CEO and founder of Apotheosis Studios. We make awesome TTRPG campaign books and setting books. The Red Opera was our awesome Warlock adventure. And now we have the Bard book, which is called Sirens Battle of the Bards, which I've made with Satine, my awesome wife.
Thanks, honey. Yeah, it's been really fun doing that. I'm Satine Phoenix at Satine Phoenix everywhere. I'm a professional dungeon master and story coach. Also a game developer with my husband, Jameson, and also a event planner with Satine's Quest, that is luxury travel gaming adventures. So go to satinephoenix.com, thebardbook.com, or satinesquest.com.
That's right. And we have a ship-based one, which is on.
Oh yeah, that's a 7-day cruise.
Yeah, 7-day
Go
cruise.
check it out. Go to Setching.
And then a land-based one too in a castle. So,
We're very excited.
Yeah, come hang out.
Oh
with us,
my
play
goodness.
We just want to
Man.
do a lot of things out in the world.
That
Amazing.
sounds absolutely
I just
awesome.
realized this. I just realized as well that like my intro, I didn't tell anyone what I did. I just said, "This is where you find me." Yeah. So,
What's in your name, right?
It's in my name. I'm a GM. So.
There we go. Absolutely. Links for everybody's stuff is down below. So please go and check them out. Support them all. They do amazing stuff.
I'm gonna check
Okay.
it out, Satines, absolutely. So
Yeah. Cruise
Man,
sounds quite
I got
Come
to
on
play.
an adventure
Come hang out
with
us.
us.
Yes.
so real fast. So next year I'm doing Eldritch Con, and it's a Call of Cthulhu thing. And there's
right.
their platinum package, which is it starts off with you ride on the Orient Express from Paris to Bucharest, where the
Wait,
con is,
what?
and there's
What?
an event hosted by the H.P. Lovecraft Historical Society on the train during this 2-day thing. Eldritch Con,
Jeez.
November 2022. My wife and I have been wanting to do as a dream vacation the Orient Express for a few years. So when they came to me and like, hey, would you like to do this? I'm like, oh, yes. And then I went to my wife and I'm like, hey, baby, I just committed us to a trip on the Orient Express. And she was like, okay, that's all I need to know. I don't know if we have to kill anybody, but we're doing it. So
We did it on the train.
On the train. You killed on the train.
Yeah.
That-
well,
yeah.
Definitely.
Oh man, that sounds
every
amazing.
story on the Orient Express, somebody has to die.
Oh,
So
obviously.
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
tradition. It's
Yeah.
powered.
Yeah, you got to
So-
figure out your
Sounds
alibis.
Hopefully no one dies on the Akasha today.
Yes, that is
Yes.
true. That is true. And so we've met our players. Now we get to meet the characters that will be sailing around on a Paragon class ship by the name of Akasha. At least that's the ship's name, as well as the AI that is built into the ship. And so let's go in reverse order. And Satine, who are you playing tonight?
I'm Monica Murdoch, but you can call me Murdoch. Everyone calls me Murdoch, except for this guy. I am the ship's engineer, formerly the chief engineer of cruise lines, but got kind of convinced to be a bounty hunter from this one.
There we go. And our captain?
I play Captain Revan. He was a former spy, mercenary, actually had a bounty on him. He then took over the person who was after him, stole their ship, and now has recruited an amazing cast of fellow bounty hunters. And we are traveling the galaxy in search of new bounties.
There we go. Seth?
Raka Punchy Grin. I am a large cat person. I grew up as a spacer. I worked on spaceships. I had a small dally with being an arms dealer until I realized that put me a serious risk of becoming the type of person that you deal with when you're an arms dealer. So he has moved into bounty hunting, which he considers more of a sport than he does a career. So it's a job that he loves.
That's always so rewarding.
And I am a pilot because, once again, I grew up on a spaceship. This is just how I've always lived.
There we go. There we go. Then fielding the sciences and the, how did you put it? Injecting a little of yourself.
Don't. You don't have to get into details. If you don't understand the science behind it, it's fine. It makes my job easier. I will be playing Atticus Tick Clay, who is a heavily educated, sapient mass of microorganisms wearing a man suit. And he will be acting as your medic and resident scientist. You're not an experiment.
As far as you know.
Yeah.
Sign this, please.
And don't read it.
And here.
Initial.
And then rounding out our cast, we have someone who likes to shoot things, maybe?
G'day, my name's Jax. This is Shaniqua. I'm a bounty hunter. I'm good at shooting things. I'm good at getting into scraps and fights and stuff like that. But not much for the medicine or the sciences or the engineering. You just point me in a direction and I will do my thing. Yeah. That's Jax. He's a Karo. He's a bounty hunter, and I went for it. Since the Karo are a kangaroo race, I was just like, I'm going Australian. Let's just go. But he's covered in scars, so much so that he actually lost an eye and he has like a red hot cybernetic implant freeze his eye
Yeah.
right here as well. So going for it.
There we go. And that is our cast. And so let us journey into the outer reaches of the Hantari region. Oh my goodness, weapons armed. We journey into the darkness of space where there are 1 billion miles between you and anyone else who might hear you scream. And as the stars twinkle all around this very small point of light, we push in until we eventually discover the strange peregrine shape of the ship known as the Akasha. Our intrepid heroes have recently completed a bounty, and this has rewarded them with a few Deca credits that have helped to pay for the bills. It is now that horrific time for all bounty hunters, the time known as in between jobs, where credits seem far and few between. The ship has been on standby. As per normal routine, you have been trawling the bounty hunter boards, looking for commissions that are worth your attention. The planets nearby are all fairly quiet at the moment, and everything seems to be, well, absolutely silent when it comes to potential bounties. At least that is what it was until a few seconds ago when a communications started to come through on your internal sensors. It is a message that appears to be transmitted directly into the AI, but not from outside of the ship. Does anyone open the comms?
Yes, let's take a look. And
Let's say if
open
I'm
the
at the
comms.
cockpit, I probably
Last
call the
question.
captain in, but yeah.
I will give you a view of the ship that you're on very briefly. This
Yay.
is the part of the ship that you have seen. You guys are all in the cockpit there, hanging out as you normally would be doing. And you engage communications, and a very garbled image of a balding man suddenly appears in the holo display as a hologram standing directly in front of all of you. The image flickers and realigns itself as it's trying to recomposite the billions of bits of data into something that makes sense. The figure, his hands held behind his back, stands maybe 5'2" and is vaguely familiar. You think you've seen him in news feeds on the IGN, the Intergalactic Network, from time to time, making speeches or something, but he's one of those little grey men that doesn't immediately stand out from the crowd and hasn't done anything politically significant, at least not that you're aware. He takes a moment and looks to his something off screen and then looks back. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, mate.
I am Minister Elburn. Is this Captain Revan's ship?
Yes, Captain Revan speaking on behalf of the Akasha. How can we help you, sir? Can I use my my culture to see if I have any information about this person?
Absolutely.
I'm a man of culture as a captain.
Absolutely. You burn 1 AP on your culture, and you realize that he is the Minister for Planetary Administration for the Greypan Alliance. This is a man who is probably the third most powerful person in the entire Hantari region. The Greypan Alliance is a massive conglomerate of predominantly human-controlled planets within the Hantari region, and commands some of the largest and most powerful warships, certainly in the area. They're currently at an uneasy truce with the only other empire of significance in this space, known as the Goran Empire. The truce has been in effect for a few weeks now, as negotiations have been going forward. This minister, however, as he is in charge of all planet administration, is a supremely powerful being. He controls trade, he controls warrants, he controls who walks free, who doesn't walk free, across a very large amount of space. As far as you know, he's never had any major scandals against him. He has been appointed as a safe appointee. He's not particularly radicalized in any way or shape. He has a daughter, as far as you know, and his wife helps children in hospitals. Basically, an absolutely grey little man.
Fantastic. I'll lean over on the console, hit mute, and I'll fill the rest of the crew in. I'll say, let's be on our best behavior, crew, and then we'll fill them in with this information.
I'll keep my mouth shut.
Captain Ravan, I understand that your ship is near the Galarian Nebula. Is that correct?
That is correct. How can we help you?
He looks away again. I don't have much time. I need you to fetch my daughter, if possible. I will pay you a substantial amount of Deca credits. He looks... 3,000 Deca credits?
For a rescue mission like that, I think we're going to have to push a little harder. We would love to help you. 6,000, and we'd like to hear some more information. Thank you.
6,000 it is then, but she must be brought in alive. It is absolutely imperative that you do so. It is also important that when this communique is complete, you delete all records of this transmission. If it were to get out that I had spoken to you, there are significant ramifications for everyone involved. You have to also understand that speed is of the absolute... we don't have a lot of time. If you head into the Galarian Nebula, we'll send you coordinates, and Punchy, you see on your navigational console in front of you, a whole lot of coordinates just suddenly come up. It doesn't look to be a particularly interesting area of the Galarian Nebula that they've sent you to. It's out in the middle of nowhere, basically.
Sir?
Yes?
You seem under a little duress. Is everything all right? Whom are you speaking to? Is there anyone else in the room with you?
No, that's just my aide. It is absolutely fine. You need to find the GDS Collingburr. She's on board the Collingburr. She should be, anyway. If you can get onto the Collingburr, Captain Tolbur is in charge. If you let him know, he'll let you on board. Just get her off. Her name is Mayal. Get her off of the Collingburr as quick as you can, and then if you could possibly make it back here, or to any of the planets within the Grey Pen Alliance, I will then make contact again, and we can arrange a drop-off.
Fantastic. Is there any information that we can tell her to engender her trust? I would not want her to think that we are somehow kidnapping her. I assume, is she there safely, or is she under duress as well?
No, she should be fine for now. That's why you must go as quickly as you can. When you arrive, I will have let Commander Tolbar know that you are en route already. Just arrive, and she should be ready for you to
fantastic. She'll be expecting us.
Yes, this is nothing more complex than a courier mission, really.
Fantastic. And obviously, to ensure her safekeeping, we always take half up front and then half upon delivery. So we'll send you our bank account information, and you can pay us the first 3,000, and then we'll receive the second 3,000 upon her safe arrival.
He looks at you for just a moment, and you will need to use a deception AP if you want to keep up this deception, because he's trying to suss out whether you were taking him for a ride or not.
Sure, I'll use charm as well. So I have charm, and I'll use a charm AP.
Nice. Yes. All right. Fine. Just he's speaking to someone off screen, and the next moment you get a little ping on your personal communicator, which plays the cash sound as 3,000 Deca credits have just been dropped into your account. Right, please leave immediately. It is important that you get to her as fast as you can.
Fantastic. Crew, do we have any other questions for this man?
Tick reaches over and scours the board for that mute button and hits it as well. Captain, it appears as though this gentleman has elevated cortisol levels. He seems incredibly stressed out.
He's more jumpy than a frog in a sock.
I agree.
We need to know if she's expecting us.
I believe they said that we would be expected.
Okay.
I have
And
questions
it seems
about
legit
the frog
if he
situation.
sent 3,000 already.
Ah,
Right, but if he was very willing to send to jump from 3,000 to 6,000, and he wants this deleted, and he wants this handled as quietly as possible, and in a relatively boring part of the galaxy,
what is he
I
not
don't-
telling us?
exactly.
Very good point, Tick. I'll unhit the mute. What type of opposition should we be expecting to encounter here? Obviously, you're paying very well for the safe arrival of your daughter. I totally understand. What should we be expecting? Anything we should keep our eyes out for? You seem understandably
Yes.
slightly apprehensive.
I can't exactly tell you, but you need to get there as soon as you possibly can. If anything, you... he looks...
More information that you can give us now, the better we can save your daughter and help keep her
There might
safe.
be a Goran ship in the vicinity, and we are at peace with them for now. So that's the only thing I can think of. But you have your money. Please get my daughter.
Excellent. In the event that things get hairy, would hate to risk a potential altercation with the Goran. I assume that us saving your daughter is more important than a potential political altercation with the Goran, aka you would like us to save her at all costs.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Excellent. So I hear that as an affirmative to you that you don't mind us attacking the Goran. Thank you very much.
He. Well, just leave now, please. It's important.
Excellent. All right, we're on our way. Punchy, please put the coordinates in and let's get headed and we'll rescue his daughter.
His hologram winks out of existence as the channel is cut.
Definitely record that recording. Keep that recorded, folks. I think that in case things go hairy, we have an affirmative reaction that if we do get into some situation with this Goran ship, that we should be able to have at least another bargaining chip surviving that we survive. Assuming we survive, which I think
What
he was
could
a
go
lot
wrong?
more
I was
than
wondering
what
if
he's telling us.
Jackson was like recording it with his eyes, like, yo, you can delete the one on your computer. I got it here.
Captain, should I make us go very fast?
yes. Please let's engage
I
the
love
drive.
this part.
Nice. So you are increasing power to the ship's engines with your transfer ability. So you start transferring energy into the ship's systems. Punchy, as the helmsman, you can see that the ship is reaching about 110% engine capacity. You should be able to get there in double time without any problems whatsoever. You lay in your course to navigate, and it is a fairly straightforward journey into the Galarian Nebula. The surface information, which your computer will display for you, informs you the Galarian Nebula is a regular Type B nebula. There's nothing in there that's particularly dangerous. There aren't any particularly volatile gases, so any kind of fire or spark or discharge is not going to ignite the entire nebula. There's limited interference with ship sensors. Any more than that, you would actually have to do an active scan yourself as you enter into this very blue area of the nebula.
I have a question
Scanning.
for you. Would Tick, so I have obscure lore as a skill, would
Sure.
Tick know anything relevant about this weird pocket of this nebula?
Yeah, spend an AP point, and once you've done that, there we go. Once you have done that, you seem to recall the only thing that's of remote interest in the Galarian Nebula is that there are a couple planets that have never been surveyed. For the particular reason that when survey teams did go down there, they usually ceased to report back. But the planets from space didn't report having any particularly useful minerals or anything of value, so they just never bothered. The other thing about the Galarian Nebula is that it forms a triangular border with both the Goran Empire and the Grapin Alliance territories. Again, though, because of it being a nebula, sensor ranges are not spectacular. So strategically, you could hide a fleet in here, but that's about it. You couldn't build sensor outposts and that sort of thing. And hiding a fleet is valuable, except that both nations have fleets on the borders. So it's kind of like, well, they're going to come in through there. So it is heavily defended on both sides.
Captain, if memory serves correctly, this area that we're about to go into is a complete dead zone. It's a massive nebula cloud, and there are a handful of planets that have no scan data, mostly because no one's reported back from the scans. As in, there could be hostile inhabitants.
Well, hopefully we'll have no need to go upon surface and just recover our asset from ship-to-ship transmission. Potentially, though, should we do a scan? And in case there are anything waiting this nebula, would you like to mask us from any potential observation?
Absolutely.
Should I head for the guns just in case, or you think we're right for now?
I think keep that trigger finger ready to go in case anything happens.
Yeah, right.
All right, so you're going to head south, Jackson, into the command center for the weapons system. Is that correct?
Cap, before I leave, good job handling that. Glad I kept my mouth shut.
We all did fantastically. I think 6,000 credits is going to be very, very helpful for us, and 3,000 up front sounds like a perfect job. Although, if memory serves, any job that seems perfect at first usually gets a little more complicated. So I'll keep our eyes about us. How much Tick? How much longer do we have until we'll? Excuse me, Punchy. How much longer do we have until we'll get to the get to the target ship? I'd love to maybe catch a little bit of a rest. We can all rest up and be ready to go.
Okay, Guy, do I need to spend a navigation point?
As a matter of fact, you do, please, because as you're getting into the nebula, there is something odd happening to this nebula. It shouldn't be.
I do my navigation, spend 1 AP.
All right. So as you are making your way into the Galarian Nebula, this type of nebula, it really should not offer the kind of bizarre plasma discharges that are happening. There seems to be currents and turbulence that is causing little patches of intermittent sensor interference and stuff, as if there was a lot of movement happening in this nebula. There shouldn't be a lot of movement happening in this nebula. It's not a stellar nursery. It's been inert for a very long time, so yeah, that is unusual. The coordinates, you're going to arrive there in about 20 minutes time, unless you really up the juice.
Okay, well, Cap, we have 20 minutes, so we've got enough time to basically suit up and take a bathroom break. Not too much time for a nap.
Fantastic. Maybe a short meditation. We can all get in fighting shape. Do we, Monica, are we currently blocking? Are we masked from scanners?
We are masked from scanners.
Excellent. Well, I say that we try to navigate around these splotches and make sure that we don't venture into anything that we can't necessarily see, and avoid anyone seeing us until we are right at our target ship. Then we can do hopefully a ship-to-ship transfer of our asset.
Yep. We have a bad feeling about this. We're going to go set the med bay up. And
Fantastic.
He exits.
Thank you, Tim.
Alrighty, you head down to the medical bay. I'll just drag you down there now. You take a journey down to the medical bay. That's what you're doing in preparation. Punchy, what are you doing whilst the crew is taking this moment, these few minutes?
Well, I'm actually going to be just watching the sensors. I'm going to be making sure that we don't, none of this movement represents any sort of debris or ships. I'm actually more worried about debris or anomalies than I am about ships, of just us colliding with something or something random colliding with us. So that's really what I'm focusing on. So I'm not imagining I'm going to be getting any meditation in before we get there. This is, driving through a rainstorm on a dark night sort of way I'm picturing it, a very locked in.
I like it. Captain, what are you going to be doing?
I will sit in my captain's chair, trust that my crew, very talented, are doing everything to keep us safe, and I will replenish my AP with a meditation, 10-minute meditation.
Fantastic. All right. Murdoch.
I will also be meditating, but accessible in case Punchy needs me for anything.
All right. Absolutely. I didn't give you quarters before we started playing. I thought you might quite like these ones. Do you head to your quarters, by the way, for your meditation?
No, I actually will sit in that room because I want to be available for Punchy.
Gotcha. I'll
just in case.
Drop you into an engineering chair there then. Okay. And in guns, Jackson, are you doing anything specifically? The weapons are
not
all
really.
primed.
I'm just talking to Akka here and just making sure that she's ready to fire off when we need to. Just making sure that she's nice and comfortable, just in case we need to light it up.
The AI has an auditory response. You do have to enable it if you want her to respond back to you. Oftentimes it's turned off for various reasons. Do you turn Akasha back on again? Captain's prerogative, obviously, to control it, but any crew can turn the automated voice responses on and off in the rooms that they're in.
Would a Jax know how to do that?
Oh, yeah. It's just literally this little control panel on the side of the wall. It's like environmental controls, and one of them is audio AI.
Yeah, you know what? Jax likes pushing buttons, so Jax will. You got something to say, love? Presses the button.
All I have to say is I am incapable of firing upon living organisms. So I will not be able to light it up, as you say, unless we are targeting rocks.
Is there any way that we could change that at all? Like, do I need to talk to the captain or...
You intend to go into me and violate my programming, rewriting everything that I hold dear to me as myself.
I don't know how to program.
This violation is something you wish to do.
Captain! Rev! Could you put me through to Rev, please?
The captain is currently in a meditative state.
Yes.
I can interrupt him if you wish. I shall interrupt the captain's meditative state.
Don't interrupt the captain. No, it's fine. Just presses the button. It just sits there.
There you go. And Doc, you're in medical. What are you doing down in the medical bay?
He is preparing a mini fridge-sized backpack, and inside of it, he has removed a circular set of vials, and he is it's seemingly injecting them into himself, except he is pulling out something. So he is withdrawing some kind of liquid from his own body and loading them into the fridge for potential safekeeping, and getting ready for whatever shit show is about to happen.
All right. Punchy, you are watching all of the screens as your ship is slowly navigating through these eddies. They are getting far worse, and they are now starting to illuminate the sky. Like sheet lightning in the distance on a hot summer's eve as thunder is rolling around the hills, you start to see great big plumes of yellow light spray out across the clouds. And then you feel a very gentle shudder of the ship as she seems to be being hit by waves of pressure.
Okay. Is there any sort of shields or anything I need to put in place to protect us from any sort of pressure wave?
Sadly, in this universe, there are no such thing as shields.
Curse you, sci-fi, for lying to me.
But at this particular moment in time, the pressure waves are enough to cause the ship to bounce slightly, but are no way near dangerous levels. There are a few things that can cause these kind of pressure waves. Exploding ships, can do it if they're very big, if their cores explode. Planets exploding would do the same thing, except that your ship would be turned into dust almost straight away. You doubt that it's a stellar explosion, a supernova or something like that, because you're still having these thoughts. So yeah, otherwise mines could do this on this maybe small scale. That might happen as well. But there are a couple things. There's also the Guresian eel that causes discharges, which has been known to disable ships in deep space. And that's how they typically board ships, they usually consume the ships. But your electronics are still working okay, so you don't think it's a Guresian eel.
Okay. I will at least get on comms, and basically this is your pilot speaking. We seem to be experiencing some turbulence, so please strap yourselves in. And then I'm going to see if, since Murdoch is right here, if she can see if there's anything, with the ship. Basically keep running diagnostic on it. Make sure that we aren't taking any damage, or maybe have an eel latching on, sucking out power from anywhere. At which point, I would like to just continue to pilot around any of these orange flashes as best as I can to avoid them, but being extra careful.
I like it. You are, if you really want to be extra careful, vehicle operations AP spend would be perfect right about now. And Murdoch, if you are going to run a systems check on the Peregrine class, that would also be an AP spend. But it's entirely up to you as to what you want to do.
Absolutely. As I wake up from my meditation,
yes,
I look over at Punchy and I nod, and then I do my diagnostics.
Fantastic. So that could either be an engineering check or a repair skill use. Either or would be sufficient.
Repair. I'll jump to repair.
Lovely. All right. You run a diagnostic on the Peregrine. Well, and there's nothing wrong with the ship. She is fine. There's no power drain. Everything seems to be okay. There is a minor imbalance in the fuel reserves. You would have to go to engineering to discover what that is, but it's at the moment your fuel reserves are down 0.3%.
I touch the side and I'm connecting with it. I can feel, that's actually how I feel that this is something wrong. And I'll be like, I'll be right back. I don't even say what is going on. I just get this and then I run.
Fantastic. As you are touching the side, the whole ship vibrates. She almost quivers as another one of these waves washes out over the ship. Jackson, your targeting sensors suddenly start to light up as targets are being acquired, or at least not acquired, they're being identified by the ship.
Sorry, that was the wrong accent. What have we got here? Is there any way I can get any readings on it at all, or what they're actually coming up as? Are they organic targets?
At the moment, it's just identifying them as objects that are moving in a non-organic manner. So starships, most likely.
I'm gonna try and comm to Punchy if that's okay.
Yeah, of course it is.
I'm
Absolutely.
Rev is still. Punchy, we've got some targets showing up on sensors.
Well,
should I fire or?
No. Let's see what they are first. Let's let the captain declare that, unless they fire first.
Sure, it's better safe than sorry. I could just.
Thank you, Jackson. I appreciate your enthusiasm. We are currently masked from sensors, and I think we should allow Punchy to weave us through these zones. But at a moment's notice, we may give you alert. So be ready.
Let's go.
Vigilant.
He is looking over his shoulder like.
Jackson, if you have logic, you could attempt to identify more accurately what these things are.
I have investigate, not logic. So could I use investigate, or is it?
You can use investigate. It won't give you the same information.
Very good. I will use my investigate skill if that's okay.
Absolutely. So as you are looking at these targets that have suddenly lit up on your ship's passive sensors, you realize that several of them are about 1 kilometer in length. So just under, pretty sizable objects. They're moving quite slowly. There are at least 6 of those. And then there are 50 smaller craft that are about 15 meters in length. And every now and again, when the ship shudders, for a brief second, there is one that seems to be about 50 meters in width, and then it vanishes. And then you get the ripple effect.
Hey, Rev. Very strange readings. You got some big targets and little ones, and every time the ship shudders, one of the little ones disappear. I think maybe they're jumping.
Are they
Going
jumping
really
or potentially
fast.
being destroyed? And maybe that is what the shuddering is their destruction.
You know what? I think you might be right. How do you want to proceed?
Well, Punchy, does it seem like these potential threats they are in the dead zones which we cannot scan? Although if we run a scan now, I think that we then drop out of our masking. How far away are we from our target ship until we can hopefully do a transaction of our asset?
At your current speed, you will arrive within the next 30 seconds.
Fantastic. I say we focus on first getting our target and then getting out of here. Right now, we just have a very, very clear mandate of rescue and save this person's daughter. So I say we focus on that until any other information presents itself. Unless there are any other options from the crew, please feel free to speak up with ideas.
Guy, I have logic. Could I
Sure.
take a crack at that?
If you if you head over from medical, you can join Jackson in engineering, gun control. Absolutely.
I assume this is coming over like ship comms,
Yes.
and hearing Jackson's desire to shoot all the things. He grabs another med kit and just kind of puts that in his lab coat just in case, and leaves and heads down towards his gunnery station so we can take a look at what the hell he's seeing.
Right, you are. Okay, so you are going to
Give you
head
a
down.
Logic use of AP there.
Yeah.
And so he takes a look at the screen that Jax is pointing out, taking a look at these like blipping in and out ships. What is it that you're seeing here?
See right here, they're the big ones, and
Yes.
they're the little ones.
Right.
Every time it shudders, the little ones disappear, but the big ones, they're really big.
Right.
Yeah, they're about 1 kilometer long.
They're about 1 kilometer long.
Okay.
They're that
I'm not
big.
sure what a kilometer is, but that's fine. I'll figure it out.
It's like 1,000 meters.
Yeah, 3,000 yards.
Yeah.
Sure.
Is that the size of an adult eel? How large are those
the
eels?
Grecian eels?
What a
No,
question.
they're about 16 kilometers in length. These are
what?
Sweet Jesus.
that is why they eat starships and asteroids and that sort of thing. So with your logic, you start to look at this and you realize that this is a dance that is taking place here. From the vectors of these ships, it looks as if, it could be that it definitely looks like there are 3 ships forming a line, and there are 3 ships that appear to be trying to break that line. And the ships are slowly moving around each other, very, very slowly. They definitely starships, there's no doubt about that. Then the things that are exploding periodically, they are not registering until they explode, and then they vanish again. That most likely is a cloaked mine, something that is only visible when it actually detonates.
Now, can we see a visual of these ships?
You can, because at that exact moment, Punchy, you drop out of your accelerated travel into this space, and what opens up in front of you is something quite different. I'm just busy moving you all across now. Activate.
Ooh.
There is your ship in the Galarian Nebula, and as your sensors open up, you are now in this area that you couldn't scan before. You realize that those ships are actually warships, and you have flown into the middle of a gigantic battle. The Graal ships are the Goranian Empire's ships. They have opened up fire directly into the three human ships. The Baragar, the Carpathi, and the Collingbour are under heavy attack. A fourth Goranian ship has just joined the battle. And there are dozens of little fighters screaming about the place, shooting at one another. And every now and again, you can see it looks as if the human ships, that's these three ships on the side, these three vessels, it looks as if they're triggering them because every time they move forward, there is one of those explosions. And that explosion sort of ripples out around the space. And in engineering, Murdoch, every time one of those goes off, your engine is losing 0.3% power at this distance.
Captain, we were wondering if you had a plan D.
Yeah, how far are we? How far away are we from which of these ships is the one where the daughter is in?
So you guys are down here, and on the other side of the Graal ships, of the Goranian ships, all labeled as Graal, the Collingbour is over here. So
Goodness.
you are unfortunately on that side. Space is three-dimensional. You could dive down and come around. Hopefully that would help.
Captain, we are stealthed.
Can they have not been able to see us, correct? And we're still stealth.
You are stealthed. Stealth, however, does not protect you from visual sighting. This is not Star Trek cloaking. This is stealth from active scanners. So any of these little fighters, if they fly past you, they will see you.
They will see us. Okay.
And the moment you try and speed, you will start to leave a heat signature, and then they will be able to track you.
Captain,
can we?
I know last time I fired without your permission, but I want you to note that I'm not firing right now.
Thank you, Jackson. I
lesson
appreciate
learned.
that.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm going to use I'll use Inspire, so that allows me to restore 1 AP to each crewman who can hear me. We'll be talking over comms.
Yes.
So everyone can replenish 1 AP at the expense of my 1 AP.
Nice.
I'll say. Crew, this obviously is we've emerged into a battle. This is why we're paid the big credits here. So I say we try to not engage as much as we can, just focus on our mission, and we get to our destination ship. In the event that they do spot us, I would encourage us. These look like to be very heavily armored battleships. I think that they are outclassing us and outgunning us. I suggest that we then try to weave around them and just go and get our target as soon as possible. I would like to be able to live to spend our credits. Any other thoughts?
So I do want to fire at some point. Am I just firing only in the defensive measures, right? Yeah.
Only fire until we're fired upon, or until given another command. Don't worry,
Yeah,
Jackson.
right.
I have a feeling
Yeah.
you're gonna have your chance.
All right.
Punchy, any suggestions on how to get us to our target unscathed?
Okay. Well, I would like to. Can I use my navigation to plot a course going kind of either above or below or weaving through this battle guy in what I consider to be the safest manner, and then use vehicle operations to fly that course?
You absolutely can.
Okay.
So just give me give me a navigation check first to see what you can do on that one. Whilst you
Okay.
are doing that, Captain has inspired everyone. Chief Engineer, what are you doing?
I would like to know, now that we can see all of these ships and my expertise as I've, top of my class graduate at a very prestigious school, would I know things about the way these ships work, the speed of these ships, how I might be able to counter by transferring energy from another, or just kind of like be able to help Punchy with that as well, like kind of like work in tandem with him?
So you could increase the engines to 200%, which would effectively double your movement speed. That would certainly help. You will be drawing power from elsewhere in the ship, of course. You will have to steal that from somewhere. The problem is that even going at double that speed, any fighters would still outmatch you by simple scale. They have far more powerful engines and far less mass to move around. The bigger ships, they don't really pose too much of a threat to you. You're unlikely to get shot by them because they won't be tracking little ships. They will be tracking the giant enemy vessels. Your biggest problem is if you fly too close to the wake of the ships. Their engines produce a phenomenal amount of radiation, which it won't destroy the ship. It will just liquefy all of you inside. If this is some kind of battle, that is obviously a battle that's taking place, the focus will most likely be on the bigger ships first. The little ships are always just a mop-up operation.
Punchy. Make a wide berth, or otherwise we're going to get 200 pieces.
There is...
Got it.
There is a slight problem in terms of your power. Is currently you are now down a full 3.4% engine power.
Oh, what? Okay, so I want to repair this somehow. I need to fix this.
All right. Do you have science?
I do.
All right, spend a science point. As you are trying to figure out what's going on here, you realize that whatever those things are that are exploding, you don't think they're trying to destroy ships. You think that those are literally just draining energy from ships' cells. These are designed to literally just suck the life out of a starship.
Punchy. Yeah, stay really far away because all those waves, it's not trying to destroy us. It's actually sucking our power out. So be very careful.
Roger that.
I will avoid the invisible mines.
like succubus mines? I don't know. Is this like a thing that we're familiar with?
Space succubus.
Jackson, what are you doing?
Was that over comms? The information about the mines?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I know I'm sounding like a bit of a broken record here, but perhaps if we scan them, I could shoot them and we could clear a path through. Just a thought.
Would active scanners give us away?
Yeah, I believe if we use our scans, we're then going to no longer be masked from other people's scanners.
Yeah, right. Not sure then. But we need to get all the way across there, right? At the front.
They can still see us because we're going to be right there. So just putting that out there.
If we get a vote, if we get a vote to start scanning, things should get interesting. Options. What are we thinking? Do we want to scan? Engineer.
I think we should scan. We got to avoid these things.
Excellent. Make it so.
All right. Whilst you are making it so, well, someone is going to be on the scanners. Hopefully, it can't be the pilot. He's piloting. Well, you're in engineering at the moment, Murdoch, with your scientific problem of the cells being drained. So that leaves the doctor or our
now.
I'll scan. I can scan.
Or the captain. That's
I
good.
have vehicle operations. Does that allow me to be able to use the scanners?
Science is the skill you're
Science?
looking for.
Yeah, okay, cool. I don't have science.
I do not have science either.
Yeah,
I
science.
do.
Okay, cool.
I have science. So yeah,
Okay.
I head to the cockpit.
Right.
And while I'm doing that, guy,
Yes.
so the Goranians and the humans have a tenuous alliance right now, or a tenuous peace, right? Is
There
that
was
accurate?
a peace that had been a ceasefire in their war that had been lasting for a couple of weeks.
Sure. So this cloud, no one can see outside of the cloud, right? This nebula.
Correct.
Can I use culture to see what the hell's going on? Are we waging a secret war inside this tiny nebula? Is that what's happening here?
You don't need to spend culture to make that kind of guess.
Okay.
But what you what you know is that the Grapen Alliance is very much a case of we want to make sure we're happy and friendly with everybody. But there are some things that the Garanian Empire does that we're not happy with. Slavery, extortion, child labor, a whole bunch of violations of alien rights, not just human rights. The Garanians don't care, believe that the humans are upstarts and are inferior species that should be enslaved and turned into basically food producing sheep or cattle, effectively, and have not really been particularly interested in peace. However, human technology is slightly more advanced than the Garanians, and that has given the humans an edge. What is happening here, if anybody knew about it, this is open warfare. Because as you are watching the Baragar, it triggers one of those mines which just releases out of a pulse, and the whole ship just suddenly goes pitch black. All the lights just wink out, and she suddenly starts listing hard to port and drifting.
Captain, are we recording this?
I do believe that once we initiated the scanners, that they should be constantly recording. Akasha, I'll ping the AI. Akasha, are we recording? And also, Akasha, do you have any suggestions on how we can successfully navigate this minefield?
There are many ways to successfully navigate this minefield. Principally, do not go into the minefield, but go around it. This would appear to be logical. Nonetheless, if you wish to go into the minefield, I would advise figuring out how to detect the mines. This would allow you to avoid them.
Fantastic. Do we have a scanner suite that could potentially scan and pick up these mines? Additionally, is our ship, are we moving currently into the battle, or maybe potentially going up north and around and over it?
Punchy, what's your current heading?
Well, I said my navigation check is trying to find the safest route. So I said either above or below. If we could just swing around the entire thing. What did my navigation find?
Your navigation reasoned that if the human vessels have been traversing this minefield, they've probably destroyed all the mines that were in their path. So flying behind them might just be the easiest way of avoiding the mines.
Okay. Then I'll be a report, Captain. The safest way is to actually go straight through the path that they've already cleared.
Sounds logical to me, Punchy. Let's do it.
There is one slight challenge. Is that puts you on a parallel course with the Graal ship known as the Vorpur and the Hadan, as you'll have to do a circular route around the vessels.
Okay.
That's the only challenge. But at the moment, you are heading in that sort of direction. So unless they change course all of a sudden, you shouldn't encounter them necessarily. There are some fighters buzzing around, and with your active ping, now certainly there are several fighters journeying at considerable speed towards you.
Okay.
Well, fantastic, Jackson, and you may get your chance. I would say get ready. If these fighters get too close to us, do they realize us as human? Obviously, we have two humans on board, or are we kind of a third party entity here?
At the moment, you are registering as an independent vessel. Simply because it makes sense not to swear allegiance to any one empire.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And that's not illegal, except within the Garanian Empire, of course. If you are foreign, and it doesn't matter where you come from. But yes, you would have identified as a neutral faction from the free space.
Is there any way, again, for me having culture to ally ourselves, or potentially use charm on them to try and, if we were to hail them, or is that something the Granians are just like, no, if you're not Granian, we just don't care about you at all?
Yeah, you don't have to spend culture to understand that. If you're not Garanian, they think of you quite literally as, oh, you're not Garanian. We'll take you into slavery and sell you. Yeah,
right.
Or food, depending. Excellent. Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent. All right, well, I say, crew, unless there's any suggestions, I say we fly around as much as we can, and if there are any smaller ships that get close, I say we take them out. Any other ideas?
Punchy, just let me know if you need me to push the red button, which is the go faster button.
I'm hoping we don't need that until it is time to leave. I will try. Let's try to keep that in reserve for a quick escape. Can we go ahead and hail the Callingbur and let them know that we have arrived, and to hopefully flag their own fighters that they know we are coming, that we are not hostile.
Yeah, very, very wise thinking, Punchy. Please, put them through.
Just quickly as well, Rav, is that you saying that weapons are hot?
Not yet. Wait
right.
until they show hostile.
Soon. All right.
Once we hail them, I'll try and see if they will be able to divert any fighters to keep us safe. We'll see how much sway our patron has for this mission, and see if we can get our asset unhindered. If they can peel off some fighters to help us.
The only connection you can establish at this present moment in time is a audio connection. It is incredibly garbled and interfered. Someone with hacking is going to have to try and clean this up, because otherwise the Goranians are just flooding all communication bands with static.
Excellent. Does anyone on our crew have hacking?
No.
Jax doesn't.
Nope. No. Okay, no worries. Well, we'll try to get closer and try again.
All right, we are going to go into a combat as these two Goranian vessels suddenly, Jackson, you are watching the scopes. You see both suddenly flare red as the Akasha sensors have detected that their weapons have now locked onto your ship.
So Jax is like literally shaking, waiting for the command. He's just, Captain.
Okay, so who would like to act in the first phase of combat? That will allow you to act first. The way that Starship combat works is you all are acting in first phase or second phase. I realize for this particular setup of screen, I didn't set up the character icon, so I'm going to do it manually. So who would, anyone want to act in the first phase?
Jax will wait until the last phase because he's waiting for the command.
Punchy is going to act in the first phase. There we go. Punchy.
Yeah, I'll once we as they approach, say, Jackson, as they come within firing range, feel free to line them up.
All right. First phase.
All right. So acting in the first phase, Punchy and Jackson. Acting in the last phase, the Captain, Murdoch, and Clay. All right, so Punchy, what are you doing? The fighters are coming in hard and fast, and they look to be targeting your ship's engines.
Okay. So as a ace pilot, my special ability is I can pilot the ship and fire one weapon component at the same turn. So does that mean I can attempt to do an evasive, flying? Because I'm trying to get straight to our target ship, the Callingbur, but could I still swing a shot off at one of these people who are trying to prevent that?
Do you have the skill mounted weapons?
Oh yeah, I was an arms dealer.
Aha! Well then, absolutely. So you are. So are you maintaining your projected course, which would take you in a curve around the battle, or are you just going to go straight through the battlefield now?
Actually, I will probably be doing an evasive flying, which should probably also include a bit of jigging and jagging to try to prevent anybody from getting a leading shot on me. So, am I still able to do that, or is that kind of like a double piloting because I'm trying to whittle my way there?
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. All right, so you are trying to prevent the ship from being hit. Is that right?
Correct.
So let me just open up the skills tree there. All right, so that evade, you have logic?
No.
Okay, cool. So you're just jigging and jagging. You got the jig, you got the jag. Right? So that's perfect. So you jig and you jag, and then you fire off a shot with your weapon. Now, you have... there are 3 weapon components aboard this Peregrine class vessel. Jackson, which one do you have active currently? There's 2 Rand turrets, and then there's the Barrett's missile pod.
He'll be on the turret.
You're going to be on a turret? Okay, so that leaves you, Punchy, with either a Rand turret or the Barrett's missile pod. The Barrett's missile pod, unfortunately, at this moment cannot be used as the ship is at the incoming ships are both at medium range. Barrett's can only be used at close range.
Oh, well, I wasn't going to use it anyway because those missiles cost a lot more money, and I wasn't going to fire a missile unless the captain actually greenlit that.
We got a lot of money in the bank now. We got 3,000, so feel free to fire missiles.
Right.
So I would take the other Ran, as I am illogically jigging and jagging my way as fast as I can, like a child on a joystick.
Nice. Alrighty. So you fire at this fighter. They are not attempting to avoid at all. As you just open up on this ship, and the blasters sail out. You hear the wonderful grinding of the gears as this solid slug encased in energy just sails directly towards this vessel, slamming into it, dealing a significant amount of damage to it. It does not, unfortunately, cause it to explode dramatically.
And real fast, just game mechanics. So
Yes.
do I remove 1 AP for the mounted weapon, obviously?
Correct.
Do I also remove 1 for the vehicle operations?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. As you are making your way along, that is what you have done. Jackson, you were firing your vessel, your Rand turret as well.
Yeah. So Jackson will look down, take a deep breath. All right, Akka, it's time to bring the Dakka! I'm going to just fire off the Rand target there. And I spend the AP, and do I press the fire button?
You do indeed.
Does the gun make that noise, or does he make that
Both.
Both.
Obviously, the answer is yes.
Yes. I've hit the fire button. I don't think it's clicking. So do you just want
No,
me
it has.
to...
It has. It definitely has.
I
You see
might
there
have clicked it twice.
in the chat log, it says, Jackson, 26 seconds ago, pressed the fire button.
Hells yeah.
Yep. So your missile, were you targeting the same fighter?
The same one. I want to see that fiery explosion.
Nice. Well, getting there. So you deal another 5 damage to this poor starfighter, and you can see that there is now this sort of burst of metal shrapnel from the side of the fighter, and she does this funny dip, but still manages to keep charging directly towards you. They're both acting in the first phase as well, and so they get to fire back. The first one is firing. Unfortunately, Punchy jigged and jagged when he should have been rolling
Zigged and zagging?
Exactly. Zigging and zagging. You never can tell with these, so they both fire directly at you, and that is 2 hits with the Rand turrets upon your vessel. And the damage I will translate here for you. That is 10 points of damage, which you have subsequently lost from your main hull. They were not targeting anywhere specific. So as you are in engineering there, Murdoch, you're hearing damage. Consoles are lighting up all around you as it reports that you are taking damage to your hull particularly. They have now swung around. Let me clear this from the screen there so you can all have a look and see what's going on. These 2 fighters have now swung around and are now chasing your engines behind you as they are rapidly trying to get onto you. We're now into the last phase. In the last phase, Captain, what are you doing, sir?
So at this point, if I were to deploy countermeasures, would they be in effect for the next phase, or would I have to be in phase 1 to deploy countermeasures to have that be effective?
Countermeasures are used primarily against torpedoes.
Torpedoes, okay.
So deploying them at this moment wouldn't do very much, but
Excellent.
if you deployed them now, just for clarity's sake, they would still be active next turn in the first phase. Thereafter, they dissipate. So they last for basically your turn and 1 turn thereafter. They carry over.
Excellent. Let's say, fantastic shot, Jackson and Punchy. I'm going to deploy countermeasures in case they send torpedoes our way. So I'll deploy my countermeasures.
That is a very good call, because they're now at close range and countermeasures. All right, so you shout out countermeasures. There is a little pod drops out of the back of the Akasha. It sails out about 20 or 30 meters and then explodes out in this glittering ball. It literally looks like a glitter bomb has just gone off in space.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thousands of little shards of highly charged electric aluminum particles fill the air. Murdoch, what are you doing?
I feel the hits, and I'm like, it's okay, Akasha, I got you. And I want to use Gearhead to repair whatever I can at all.
Lovely. All right, so you're going to use a repair check, and Gearhead, that allows you to restore how many of the ship's
4
power?
instead of 3.
4 power points? All right,
Yeah.
perfect. So that will get you to 34.
So I hit repair.
Yes, that's correct. That'll spend your AP.
Did I do it?
Not yet.
Oops.
I think we've fallen out of our roles, Guy.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll use repair there.
Oh.
And then do I hit Gearhead as well, or?
No, it's automatically taken into
Okay,
account.
cool.
Yeah.
So I push repair instead of the repair in the starship control. So I don't know if that actually.
It has gone off. Yeah, I've got it here.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm putting people in the wrong place. There we go. Yeah, you're back in your roles. I don't know what happened there. Okay, so that is what is happening in engineering. You're frantically trying to shunt power around. If the ship takes much more damage to its hull, you're going to have to be running around the ship itself, trying to seal off breaches in the actual hull itself. Dr. Clay, what are you doing?
Having just reached the cockpit to scan, he sighs heavily and fine. And the doors open, and he returns back to the med bay, manning the med bay. He walks back, having no use to being on the bridge.
Okay.
As you go past the command room, you hear Jax just ecstatic. Oh yeah!
He hits the button on
happy
the wall,
right
and the door to Jackson's area closes. And continues to the med bay.
The ship is following you. Both ships are following you. New round. Who is acting in the first phase?
Jackson will again.
Jackson will. Anybody else?
Sure, I'll go in the first phase.
All right. Okay. The pilots are both going to go in the first phase as well. They want you finished. So, acting in the first phase, the 2 enemy vessels are firing torpedoes, missile pods, as a matter of fact, and that is their actions. Jackson,
I'm gonna come over the comms and say to Punchy, do a barrel roll. It's just for me. Yeah.
okay, you're shouting, do a barrel roll, and are you going to be firing back?
Yes, of course.
Absolutely. Captain?
So if the countermeasures, is it a 1-to-1 countermeasure?
It is indeed.
Excellent. I will once again fire off our deployed countermeasures.
Okay, perfect. So you are firing out 2 sets of countermeasures. They both eject out. The enemy fires their pods of missiles. They both sail forward and slam into your countermeasures, burning through the countermeasures and destroying themselves in the process. You have managed to successfully avoid that attack. You are immediately proceeding. That is the last phase. Pilot, are you continuing your desperate dash?
Oh, absolutely. So you said both the 2 ships were taken out?
The ships are fine. Their missiles are taken out. They're still chasing behind you.
Okay. Then I will continue piloting. I would like to zig and zag this time instead of the jig and jag. And if they're still there, I would also like to fire upon the invincible one. That just won't die.
Yeah.
All right. It was not dodging at all. You can use your mounted weapons. Fire away.
Okay.
And as you open up fire, you spray out this line of solid slugs into the side of the ship. The first one sort of punches through the front of the nose, and you see the tip begin to break. Then the second one just slams into where the pilot would be sitting, and there's this great big red burst of color on the inside of the glass cockpit. And then the third one slams into the engine components, and the whole ship just explodes in a shower of sparks as it is completely destroyed and taken out.
Hey,
Nice
shooting,
one,
punching.
Punchy.
Unfortunately, coming up behind you is this last one, which is being particularly active. Engineer, you're going to continue to transfer power? What are you doing?
I'm going to try to. I look at my map of the ship, and
Yes.
I'm looking at the different parts of that need to be repaired, and I go to run to repair it.
All right, so you make your way deeper into the ship. That power drain has seemingly stopped for now, simply because there aren't any more mines being detonated at this present moment in time. Okay. So you head deeper into the ship and start to look for areas to repair. That isn't a problem whatsoever. Doc, are you doing anything specifically?
Nope, he is preparing the med bay for the inevitability of someone having to come in here.
All right. Next round, anyone acting in the first phase?
There's still a small one on our tail.
There
right?
is still a small one on your tail.
I'll act in the first phase again.
Yeah,
Me too.
Jax is ready to fire off as well.
All right, Captain, what are you doing? The enemy is firing weapons. They are no longer using torpedoes.
No, not using torpedoes any longer.
Doesn't seem like it.
I will inspire. I'll say, crew, we've done a fantastic job. We've taken one down, just one left to go, and then we're on our way to go get our asset. Again, it's an honor to serve with you all. Doing fantastically, and everyone gains an AP.
Hells
Nice.
yeah.
Thank you, Captain.
Sweet.
I'll add an AP back. Okay. Jackson, you're acting in the first phase. There is a unusual bloom of energy off of the starboard side of the ship. That's the right-hand side of the ship. Your focus is not there, though. Your focus is on the little fighter directly behind you. What are you doing?
You guys. Do I investigate or do I fire?
Try that missile launcher out if you want.
Yeah. What was that? Sorry, a missile?
I said try that missile launcher out if you want.
Yeah. Can I?
That's true.
Can I switch weapons? Does that?
Yeah, absolutely.
require any action? Yeah. Okay.
Not at all.
Right. Let's
You-
do it.
Firing
You got
upon-
one. I want one too. Fire missiles!
There is a stream of 3 missiles that spray out of the front of your ship, and they immediately drop back behind you and engage their little thrusters, flying straight towards that enemy vessel. They close in, and all 3 of them ping into its hull and then explode in small sections, dealing damage all around this enemy vessel.
Woo!
She is-
beauty!
She is smoking from all different areas around, and Punchy, you can automatically tell that somewhere a system got hit because she is starting to lose speed. She's not nearly as fast as she was. So whatever happened, it has damaged her systems. As you shout, "You beauty," Punchy, well, everybody, the ship is suddenly bathed in this brilliant yellow light
Oh no!
as the Barangar explodes. That's this massive warship right next to you. So as the ship explodes, there is this phenomenal shockwave that just washes out and slams into the Akasha. Yeah. Bwah! Everyone chair shake as this wave washes over you. You can each take a single action at this exact moment in time in an attempt to mitigate some damage. What are you doing? I will start with you, Jackson, as you saw the bloom moments before you fired the missiles.
So that bloom happens, and as that explosion happens, Jackson looks towards any projectiles or shrapnel that's heading this way and wants to start firing to make sure that anything that's coming in our trajectory is destroyed. So I will use the ram turret to be able to do that because it is at a medium range.
Nice.
So mounted combat if possible.
I'm going to let you do that because I think that's pretty cool. You start firing at these large chunks of debris. So you spend your point, you discharge. As this stuff is sailing past you, you're just trying to take out as much as you possibly can of the ship. Doctor, what are you doing?
Man, I don't think he can do much in here. Yeah, I think there is there's sensors in here, I imagine,
There
so
are
he can see
indeed.
this like ripple kind of thing coming.
Oh, yes.
And now that he's back in his own element, he jumps into the chair and buckles himself in and just prepares for the inevitable massive shockwave, so that he doesn't get tossed around, and basically just stops himself from getting injured.
Nice. That's a good check. You are bracing for incoming damage. Punchy. Your cockpit is suddenly illuminated by this golden light.
Okay. So what Punchy is going to do is he is actually going to turn the ship to where the smallest surface area is toward the explosion. So if we're kind of like that, I would actually like angle it that way. Most of the debris will actually go past us without
Fantastic.
hitting. And try to basically pilot through this, essentially like surf through this as smooth as I can,
As you possibly
with
can.
making us as small a target as possible.
The way to make yourself the smallest possible target would be to face directly into the wave, but that would expose you and the captain directly to any debris that might sail into the cockpit. But that would give you the smallest profile. The alternative is to face it side on and hope that that's still a smaller profile than obviously rolling onto your side. But the absolute smallest profile would be facing it directly.
Okay. I am not going to do that. Not for any other reason than I am trying to keep my momentum going, and I don't want to be flying toward it, toward the debris, because that means we're going to be here longer. So I'm just, angling the ship perfectly sideways towards the incoming debris and gunning it.
Do you have stealth?
Do I have stealth? No, I missed that day of school.
How about survival?
Missed that day as well.
Missed that day as well? Okay.
Yeah.
So you're trying to...
I've got acrobatics.
As a matter of fact, I'll take acrobatics because that allows you to very quickly kind of change all of your dials on your ship and roll her onto the side to prevent present the smallest profile. Captain, what are you doing as this wave is washing towards your ship?
If possible, I'd love to use my logic and shout to Punchy, fantastic maneuvering, and do some very quick telemetry data to see if I can calculate any of the flying debris to assist Punchy in this ace pilot maneuver that he's doing.
Fantastic. Absolutely. It does take a few moments as the data is coming in. It's obviously all rushing in. The ship is breaking apart. You realize that he will have to brake hard if he is to avoid the front of the ship sharing off the front of your vessel. That gives him enough time to realize, okay, he needs to slow down just for a moment, watch the front roll past, and then carry on through that wreckage. Absolutely cool. And Murdoch, you are running down the corridors of the ship when you feel this ripple happening.
Yeah, I do. I know what this is going to lead to. I take out my grappling hook and I just start Spider-Manning my way through this the halls, knowing that I'm going to be running on the walls, running on the ceiling, get moved back and forth, and I'm just kind of using it to move into our gravity space as if it was zero gravity.
Fantastic.
And kind of pulling my way forward.
I like that.
I like that.
I love it.
Epic.
It's so cool.
You got acrobatics for me?
Yeah.
All right.
I push grappling hook though.
Oh,
I don't have acrobatics.
No, that's perfectly fine. Repelled grappling hook is even better. That's a much better call. All right. So that's what you do. Your ship is literally caught on the side. The pilot is pulling power and pushing as you're trying to weave through the debris of this massive ship as it's rolling past. Sensors are flashing. Warnings are everywhere. You are constantly hearing every now and again either a little scraping, pattering sound like the hail on a tin roof, and occasionally the whole ship bounces as bigger debris that Jackson he shot it smaller, and that's just what's bouncing off of the hull, or it's just so much debris, with the captain kind of feeding Punchy telemetry data in terms of where the ship should be and shouldn't be. There is a moment, Jackson, where you watch as the fighter that is behind you is caught in the same shockwave, and as it seems to be accelerating, coming up to try and get a shot on you, this massive chunk of debris just wipes it out completely, causing it to join in the explosion as it is completely annihilated.
Nice.
The Baron
Ruth, glad that
is
wasn't
destroyed. Yeah, absolutely. And you come out the other side of this battle. Let me just move this map in here. You burst out of the flames and the wreckage next to the Carpathia. As you do so, though, the whole ship has sort of rolled around. Gravity is offline as you feel that moment where your stomach suddenly feels like it's floating outside of you until you kind of swallow a couple times and bring all of your organs back into alignment. Your ears are popping as the pressure is like, wait, what is going on here? And systems start to come back online. The ship has suffered catastrophic damage across most regions. I'm just delivering out the damage now to the systems that were most affected. Thankfully, the engines seem to have taken the least amount of damage due to the pilot's choice of angling the ship, and that seems to be a good thing. Life support took the most damage. Sensors seem to be almost non-operational, and so when you look at your ship, just double click on it, you'll see what your new values are. As your hull is severely damaged, communications almost offline, countermeasures are offline, drive is reduced, the thrusters is reduced, navigation is severely damaged, life support is critical, scanners almost non-existent, your transponder unit is still also severely damaged as well. You are trailing the smoke out behind you, and your fuel cells, because of all of this expenditure, the fuel cells are now down to 40% total. That is how you emerge from this massive debris of the ship. And in front of you, you can see the Collingbourg. She is opening up fire, a massive amount of fire onto these Garanian ships. The Garanian ships themselves, by the way, look to be quite damaged. There is 4 of them, and there is a reason why there is 4 of them. They need that in order to be able to survive against these human ships, even though they've taken out one of them.
Jackson is envious of those massive guns and is just daydreams ever so slightly about firing them, and just like has to snap himself out of that daydream. Right? Yeah. Okay.
Can we open up? I guess so. First, I'll
are we still in phase? Because I haven't gone.
Oh,
we're actually now out of phase. At this present moment in time, no one is shooting at you, although speed does seem to be of the essence, as now the Garanian ships are focusing on the Carpathia and the Collingbourg itself.
Excellent.
What are you doing?
Monica, please repair the ship.
I'm on my way!
There are sparks, there's cables hanging from the ceilings, there's paneling here and there. There are multiple areas where there are hull breaches, so you're going to be running around like crazy.
That is what
Jax
I'm doing.
Is going
do you mind
run
if I
to... Yeah, good.
start? Do you mind? Because that's
definitely.
like all I'm doing. I really want to repair the ship.
Yeah.
I
was just saying Jax was going to run to help.
Yeah.
However he can.
Okay.
I would like to be engined. Life support. We gotta have life support. So
right.
I guess
That's
life
oxygen,
support.
heat.
I have a question that might help assist Doc in repairs.
Yes.
So I see that the captain has an ability called Coordinate, which allows them to spend their AP for someone else.
Yes.
Can anyone use that? I'm trained in psychology. Could I help coordinate the effort to repair, like pull up a screen, see what's going on, and help direct Doc to like the locations as I'm trying to figure out where things are exploding in our ship?
I think if the captain puts you in charge of coordinating, I don't see why that shouldn't be something absolutely possible.
Perfect.
Tick, please help coordinate. Lend us your brain power.
We're on it, sir. And he slides over a screen and he starts like pulling up all the error messages that are coming up from all the things. So I will spend AP for you.
Hell
Nice.
yeah. That's dope.
Nice. So whenever you are doing a repair, you don't have to click on the skill. All that happens is the doc will just deduct 1 AP from his set. Okay. So that is what Murdoch is doing. Jackson, you said you're going to go and try and help Murdoch? Is that correct?
So Doc, do you need any help? I'm pretty strong. Yeah.
Everything
all right.
needs fixing.
Right. Send me the task. What do you need?
I'm fine here.
There's a hull breach, and then I kind of tell them wherever their hull breach is. Like,
Right.
remember that one thing that I told you that to mount and fix? Go do that over.
All right. I'm on it.
All right. That's what you're doing. Punchy?
Punchy's jaw is set. His butt cheeks are absolutely clamped together in terror, and he is just flying towards the target. I am trusting they will keep the ship together long enough for me to get there, but my job is to pilot the school bus, and that's what I'm doing.
All right. That's what you're doing. We established that stealth is not something that you spent much time looking at. That was the day you skipped class, right?
Skip class, yeah, and survival day.
Yeah.
Thanks for reminding us, Jackson.
Right, I got you. It's good.
Can I spend like 2 repairs, one for Jax and one for me?
In order to affect your starship repair, it will just take you another round. So next round you'll be able to do that. Jackson and you have repair, right, Jackson?
I don't have repair. I did, but then I changed it last minute.
No, that's all right. So because you are helping Murdoch, you can spend an AP and you would get the same effect. So you can restore 6 power points in total. Or in your case, Murdoch, you would be able to restore 4 power points.
Right, Jax.
And
don't screw this up. This is the one thing.
Yeah.
The one thing that Doc got you to do.
One.
All right. That's the one.
It
just holds it there.
Murdoch, where are you going to restore those points? You were saying life support, right?
Yeah, well, I'm doing life support, and he's doing hull.
All right, so your life support goes from 6 to 10. I will do that for you. That goes up to 10. And you had him doing hull, so that puts him on 15.
And then you want comms notes? Captain, do you want me to do comms?
Are we able to hail our target ship? Our current communication?
You would be able to do that, absolutely. You seem to be close enough now.
All right, great.
Yeah.
Let's not worry about that one then.
I'll keep working on life support.
Yeah, I think life support, if we can bring up countermeasures, that might be helpful as well. and then when it's my turn, I'll
absolutely.
I'll hail the other ship.
You can indeed. You do not have holographic capabilities at the moment. Those are offline. You have audio only. And the moment you hail the Collingburr, you get a person saying, identify, who is this?
This is Captain Raven of the Akasha. We're here on a diplomatic mission to pick up Mile, the daughter of, what is our character's name? Captain Tobin?
That's the captain.
Oh, excuse me. The diplomat whom gave us our...
You're here for Mayal?
Yes, from Bial, to pick up his daughter. We were told to come at great haste.
You're a bit late, aren't you? Fine.
Well, we encountered some trouble. We actually were able to take out 2 of your assailants, putting in our good work for the cause. Go humans!
Oh man, perfect. So great.
Just cut to the scene of a Garanian communications officer listening. You see why we must destroy this species. The voice says, we're currently being boarded by Garanian shock AI troops. I suggest either coming in through a docking bay or waiting until we've resolved the situation, except that, and then you hear and the comms go dead.
Damn. Can we scan to find the location of Mayal, the daughter? Is there a way for us to know exactly where she is on the ship?
Given that the crew of the Collingburr is somewhere in the region of about 2,500 people, it would take you about an hour or so to scan each one looking for particular DNA matches. What you can tell is that the ship is full of humans, mostly. There are a mixed bunch of other races as well. However, she's taken some damage, and you can see she has multiple hangar bays. Usually it's for fighters. You can see multiple Garanian troop ships have dropped in. There is one that doesn't seem to have any on this particular side of the ship. There is large amounts of black smoke pouring out of it, however.
Excellent. As we approach these hangar bays, can we shoot at the enemy ships that are docked, just to take some easy pot shots, blow them up, and then dock?
You
just
can.
Do a little flyby.
You can. Who is going to fire those weapons?
I'm on a really important task right now. It's the one thing I was taught.
Exactly. Jackson's busy.
Have I finished this task?
Not
Punchy.
yet.
Punchy. As we fly by, I say we put in a little extra work, earn our credits, and take out those drop ships.
Yeah, absolutely, Captain, absolutely.
So, Punchy, your ace pilot allows you to do this once per scene. We're still in the same scene, so you would have to stop piloting. The ship would continue on a normal course, but you now have to focus on firing the weapons.
Okay.
But they aren't moving, so you're fairly certain you'd be able to take out several drop ships without a problem.
Okay. I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
Jax is proud.
Just kind of you're in my parking space, and
all right, you fire off one of those weapons, use your mounted weapons attacks, and you watch as this stream of bright shots sails out of the Akasha and slams into these completely unprotected troop transports. They've landed inside a hangar. The last thing they expect is to be shot from without. And your ammunition slams into the side of the hangar bay, and you see these shields which keep the air in flashing as the bullets penetrate straight through it. It's not designed to prevent things from moving through it, just to keep air in. And then this giant red blossom of fire and electricity as you destroy one of these troop ships. It does open up quite a nice space in the hangar bay, including the floor and the ceiling, as this explosion has ripped quite a significant hole in this space. Doctor, you are trying to coordinate the repairs and things that are going on?
Yes. But he does come over the comms and say, "Sir, it occurs to us that we could up our price for each cruiser or ship destroyed, as well as our silence for the matter, in this clearly hidden war that is happening. I think
Dick, I love where your head's at.
6,000 credits is not enough."
I completely agree. We're definitely putting in work for our fellow human race, and hopefully we'll be justly rewarded.
Yes, go
agree.
humans. Doc, and he directs Doc to another location where the repairs need some assistance.
Thank you.
No problem.
I can just imagine Doc using grappling hook to pull herself around, trying to get. Once you have
The thank you just echoes through the ship. It's not actually on comms.
once you get life support to 12 points, you will restore gravity, as gravity takes a lot of energy, artificial gravity anyway. The Collingburr is making her move. You are flying alongside her as all chaos is breaking out. Every now and again, you see several of the Collingsburr. She has massive turrets, which are almost the size of your ship. The map is definitely not to scale, as the Collingsburr, each of these ships is, as I said, 1 kilometer long. Your ship is 60 meters long. But every now and again, you see one of these turrets. It sort of leans out over you and casts this massive shadow over the whole cockpit. And then there's a brilliant blue flare as these railguns fire out solid slugs, which are literally the size of each of you. They are quite easily 2 meters in length and about 1 meter in diameter. These solid slugs just break away past you at near the speed of light and sail out into the Goranian ships, which just explode as these shells slam into them. But even though the explosions are huge, the Goranian ships themselves are incredibly long, and you can see their own turrets slowly, ponderously swinging around to come and land and aim directly at the Collingbow. What are you doing? This is the final round, you reckon, before you now start to overshoot the Collingbow. You will have to land if you want to get on to this ship.
I say we dock. Punchy, how about you bring us in? Let's try to finish up any repairs that we can, and then we may have to go in full force and expect some armed combat while on board as we go and get this man's daughter.
You got it, Captain. Punchy is silently wondering what idiot decided to fly us directly between 2 battleships that are shooting at each other instead of on the far side. It's like, maybe they won't notice I did this.
Jack is having a great time. Yeah.
So no one expects the human Inquisition.
Like a symphony playing around Jax. It's just like,
yeah. Yeah.
Someday,
this is where
Jax,
I want to be.
Stick with this ship and we'll get you the big guns.
Oh man, the railguns.
You are absolutely right. You're on the wrong side. That's a great line.
That's how you know I'm a nice captain. I didn't say anything. I noticed the exact same thing.
I've done this many times while driving. You take a turn and you're like, why did I take this? This is a bad choice.
They expect you to go around the outside. No one saw you coming right up the middle.
That's where the drop ships were. So if we were going to hit the drop ships, we had to be on this
that's
side.
true. That's
Sacrifices were made.
This was a Google Maps moment. You know, Google. Who the hell?
This is an Apple Maps moment, I think. Actually.
All right. You spend vehicle operations to bring yourself into this hangar at speed. I'm assuming you're moving quite quickly, because normal procedure would be to slow down to a quarter of your normal speed.
Threading the needle.
Very exactly.
Oh, I'm about to do a little Tokyo drift. Just
let's go. Yes. Oh yeah.
I like that. All right, a little Tokyo drift. You can certainly do that. As you come screaming in, I will also need you to please give me an acrobatics check. An acrobatics spend as you do come in. The deck has been shot to hell by someone. You're not entirely sure who, but it has been torn up. And so yes, you come screeching in and you land this bouncing from inside. Murdoch, you just hear the landing struts of the Akasha scraping across deck plating, and then there's a sudden violent stop.
Are we? So we're still in like 0 G's inside of it. So I imagine the ship is spinning around me.
Yeah.
I just like let go for a second. It's like, oh, not again.
So may I add, with this Tokyo drift landing, Jax is going to slip and cut himself on the hole that he's currently holding, and there's just blood coming down from his palm and just like matting his
globules out. Yes.
It's a pretty deep cut as well.
Nice. As a matter of fact, unless you have the acrobatics skill, you will all take 2 points of AP damage.
Yeah.
Although you are watching the ship roll around you, for a brief second, you are still in 0 G, and then the Collingsburg gravity plates kick in, and you all drop immediately down onto the deck.
Now, GM,
yes.
I have the acrobatic skill.
Yes.
But I just wanted the narrative injury. Is it okay if I don't take the AP, but still have
Absolutely
the...
fine.
Yeah.
Absolutely fine.
Nice.
Absolutely fine. You are battle injured.
Yeah.
Captain Revan has the acrobatic skill, and as we slide in, I'm going to shout, "We survived! Of course we survived! Fantastic flying, Punchy!" And if possible, I'd love to use my Inspire again. Be like, that was an amazing landing, using
Nice.
1 AP to replenish AP for the others.
And that
Oh,
is
yeah.
exactly what you get back, 1 AP
So
each. And this brings you onto the deck. Immediately, sound suddenly floods your ears because in space, the only sound has been the inside of the Akasha. Now, suddenly, the world has got sound, and that is all around you. There are warning klaxons going off, this monotonous brop, 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 as that is the first thing that assails you. The second thing is just how smoky this whole space is. There is, even from here, Murdoch, you can see that there are multiple fuel lines often used for refueling ships and things that have been either ignited purposefully or by mistake. They're busy burning, churning out this black acrid smoke that fills the atmosphere. From where you are, you will have to disembark, obviously, to make your way forward. From what you can see, hopefully, I haven't ruined it too much, although I have already disembarked you from your ship. This is a very large and very dark hangar. You can see walls to the left.
In order to get out of here, I would stay behind. I
You're
would
gonna stay behind? Okay.
to repair. I want to like kind of blow through whatever I got to stay behind.
All
Fantastic,
right.
Monica. Please repair the ship so we can make it an expeditious escape.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Hey, Doc.
Yes.
I got a bit of a cut.
Oh.
She doesn't.
He means you this time.
Oh, sorry.
The doc, not the other doc.
Right.
Pretty deep.
No, it's very. It's fine. And he like comes over to you, and his mechanical arm kind of like moves around, and you see one of the pods that he was adjusting earlier opens, and a needle comes out. He just sort of jabs it into the hole in your hand. It's
Yeah.
fine. It was already damaged.
That hurt, though.
The first time, of course. And you see the vial just empty into you.
Tickles. Why is it tickling? Is that bad?
It is.
Am I going to lose the hand?
You could. Would you like to?
I'd prefer not to. I mean, I'm not going to lie. The cybernetic upgrades are nice, but if I can maintain having ownership of this hand, the original is better. So
Fine. You'll be fine.
right. Thanks, Doc.
We'll let you keep the hand.
For now.
Are you
keep
actually
it in a
going to
jar.
restore damage? Is there any damage to restore, Jackson? I mean, I know it's cosmetic, but just
So
from a
it was
mechanical
cosmetic.
perspective-
I am
Yeah.
missing AP, but I don't think that I'm losing any AP due to injury.
No, that's
so-
absolutely fine.
Yeah.
So just from a mechanical perspective, Dr. Clay, are you going to medicine him?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to use my skill doctor, which
Right.
would heal 6 AP, so he can kind of go nuts.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice. Remember to update your
Nice.
character sheets with that and to spend your medicine check. Your
Yes.
medicine skill, if you please. Okay, Murdoch is left on the Asasha. What am I saying? The Akasha. And the rest of you, are you disembarking?
Yes.
So I'll look to the rest of the crew and say, are we okay with just leaving Doc here alone? Should one of us stay behind just in case someone comes in and tries to storm our ship? Or
She can lock herself inside while she's commencing
Yeah.
repairs.
I'll be fine.
I'm sure that the
Yep,
Akasha
yep.
AI will be able
I've
to
seen-
alert her if there's any threat.
you have a respectable shot, Doc. So I think that you'll be fine. Yeah.
I don't
right,
use
okay.
guns.
Let's lock and load and get ready to go rescue this little girl.
Good luck.
All right,
Alrighty.
Shan, it's time to have some fun.
There are, as far as you can tell from this hangar bay, there appears to be a exit to the from this map's compass point to the west. So more to the west here. There is one almost immediately next. There is one that you can see. It appears to have been blown in by some kind of violent explosion. You do know that further up in the hangar, there is another door that you might have access to, but it's behind this damaged shuttle pod. The Akasha, just for purposes of this particular map, and because I didn't want to break anything, is beyond this electrostatic barrier. You can walk through it without any problems. It just prevents oxygen from escaping.
Awesome.
Fantastic. Can I use my my long-range personal scanner to find out kind of where any life forms are around us, if we're able to see anything and potentially get a ping on our target?
Absolutely. Do you have computer acumen?
I do not. I have logic, but I do not have computer acumen.
Do you have science? I didn't think you did. Hey,
I do not have science.
you do not have science.
So to cover that, I also have one, so I can use it for you.
I'm gonna leave this in your well educated doctor hands.
No problem, sir. I have this one, and he starts punching in and uses the scanner.
All right, spend a science AP or
Science.
computer acumen, either or. All right, science. What you detect is that beyond this exploded doorway, there is a passageway that is approximately 12 meters in length, maybe a little bit less. And then there is a chamber beyond that appears to contain a single female humanoid, a male humanoid whose life signs are failing, and a single Goranian humanoid whose life signs are not failing.
Now, Guy, correct me if I'm wrong. When we had the bridge comms open with the captain of this ship,
Yes.
They did mention Goranian AI troopers. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Yeah, so he replies to, or he shows the scans to Captain Revan and says, "Sir, we have detected that there are several human life forms, one Goranian life form, but I would like to remind you that there are likely going to be more non-living." They did mention AI troopers.
Very, very good point. We should be very mindful of that. It looks like we got incredibly lucky. Punchy picked a great hangar to land us into. I say we go through, keep our eyes about us, and go rescue that woman. And again, as Chick mentioned, be very mindful of AI.
Rev, do you want me to shock or you want me to reserve? As in, do you want me to lead the charge or do you want me behind in the back?
Oh, I think that you and I can probably lead from the front.
Right.
As you know, I'm well versed with a blaster rifle, and we'll be able to hopefully do this without incurring any more damage.
Let's do it.
And is it
Sir, in
then-
addition, we have begun to keep a tally of Goranian troops. I'm unsure of how many were on board each ship, but I've taken the liberty of estimating.
Fantastic. Yeah, please keep us abreast of the situation. Really well done, Tick. Thank you.
Cap, bit of a personal matter. I'd like to not leave as many behind the slavers, if that's possible.
Any survivors that we can find, if we've got room on the ship, let's bring them aboard.
Yeah.
I have a feeling though that hopefully the humans will win out in this case. So I doubt that they'll be able to take the entire ship, but we'll give them any advantage that we can.
Yeah, you can
Go
see that there's a
humans.
troubled expression on Jax's face. He has a personal connection to slavers and this sort of situation. So you would probably know through conversations with Jax at some point that he had that past. So if he can avoid leaving anyone behind, he will probably try and do that. But you will find out.
Nice. So, leading the charge, Revan and Jackson, and then Punchy and Dr. Clay following in behind. And so you leave the good engineer to her own devices. That allows you, as you guys are moving forward, and I think it's so cool watching these things. There is a wounded soldier leaning up against this shuttle that you automatically notice. Sorry, I'm on the wrong map here. So you can move yourselves wherever you particularly like. I think you guys have control.
I am unable to. I am back to.
Oh, you're a
Nice.
strange world. All right, I got you. I'll just keep you following along. Engineer, what systems
I'm in the same space.
are you attempting to repair?
First, I'm going for life support. Then I'm going for hull.
You're going to try and get the life support back up. All right.
Yeah.
So you are busy banging away on that. You get it up to 14 now. Gravity is now operational. Not that that particularly matters since the calling burr is providing you with artificial gravity. That is what you are doing as the team is moving forward. Team, what are you going to do with this individual? Wounded, but possibly dying. Your senses indicate that without medical attention, this person will actually die in the next few moments.
And this is a human.
Human, yes.
Tick, would you like to save them? What do you think?
I know where my all is.
Is there a fee related, Captain?
I think that I'm not sure, but I'm sure that they would be very happy to have the assistance, and maybe we could conscript them to come with us, and who knows, maybe even gain another member of the crew.
I understand. We can charge them later. And Tick runs over there to the side of the ship and begins taking a look over at what's wrong with this guy.
Fantastic. I'll cover you.
All right. So you're gonna dash over there as best you can. Jackson and Punchy, whilst these two are running off in that direction from down the corridor, which you can now see. You can see this corridor down there. The red warning klaxons are going mad. There is a door beyond, and you can hear a feminine voice in a very aggressive tone shouting at someone.
Okay.
Punchy, what do you think? Looks over and sees that Doc and Rev are currently with the medic. Should we take a look?
Well, actually, Punchy doesn't want to. I want to leave the room while they're here, but I would like to take position by that door and wait till Captain.
I'd say post up on the door, and then we'll go in all together.
Yeah.
Unless that woman's voice seems under duress, or if she's in danger, I'd say we move as a unit.
Use a investigation to get a sense of the situation.
Psychology.
What's going on in there? Ooh, okay, not me.
If you don't have psychology, then survival would be your next.
I do have survival.
All right, spend survival. And as you kind of listen to the sounds, the pacing, the manner in which things, it does sound like she is pleading and screaming in earnest.
Sorry, Cap. I'm gonna have to apologize later. I'm gonna go straight down and open the door.
All right, you're rushing straight down.
Rushing. I'm not gonna go bounding into the room. I'm just gonna get sight on the situation.
Okay. So you are rushing down. As you get to this corridor, there is a alert sound as you can see two AI, definitely Goranian in design, step around the corner, and both of them automatically spot you. We are going into combat. As you have dashed around the corner. Yep. All right. So I'm just going to throw you into combat. These guys are going to go into combat as well.
By the way, I really like watching the lights of the klaxons.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Nice little touch there.
The Foundry guys set this up for us.
It's pretty dope.
It's really, really nice.
Okay, and
it takes dynamic lighting to a different level.
Yes. All right, so there is our combat. We are going to begin. I am missing someone. I'm going to include our engineer in this because every round that happens is a round that you can be repairing, right?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so the two robots, they are programmed, as we begin combat, they are programmed to automatically attack on sight. That is what they are doing. And the techie, as is listed here, is also acting. And the reason for that, Doctor, is the techie is very slowly removing the skin from their face to reveal a Goranian underneath.
Oh, no!
Oh, you son of a bitch, guy. Okay, all right. Okay, see how it's played here.
All right, so Dr. Clay, do you want to act first?
So great.
Yeah. Sorry,
right.
he can see this guy peeling his face off?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, he's acting the first round.
All right, Jackson.
Jackson is going to act in the first round as well.
All right, Murdoch. There is no urgency for you to act in the first round.
I'm just casually, frantically repairing.
Casually frantic. I like it.
Is it no is it no action to talk on comms as the captain is assessing the situation?
Yeah, that is a free action. That is a free action. Yeah.
So I'm gonna radio to Jackson and say, Jackson, get back with the group, and then radio to Monica. See if you can use the onboard turret to create a killing zone as the AI come through the door and try and blast them.
Yes.
All right. Are you acting in the first phase, though, Captain?
Sure. I'll act in the first phase.
All right. And Punchy?
Well, I was going to act in the first phase, but actually, no, I wasn't going to act in the first phase. I was planning on going in there, but I'm pretty sure after that order, it will be okay, I'm starting after Jackson, and like, nope, and I am backing away from the door.
All
so
right.
I will go second phase as oh, no.
No, I'm just going to wait a few moments there. All right, acting in the first phase. It is these combat creatures, and all they're going to do is the very first one is going to fire directly at you, Jackson.
I would
Yep.
like to dodge. Does that mean that I dodge just one of their attacks?
You
Yes,
would dodge
right?
just one of the attacks. That is
Okay.
correct.
They both have the same weaponry.
They do indeed, yes.
Okay, cool.
They're both
so I
armed
would-
with Ran rifles.
Now for movement, do I just move on this phase?
So it happens simultaneously, and
Yeah,
because they're using ranged weapons, wherever you move, unfortunately, they will still be able to
That's
hit.
fine. That's fine.
Yeah. All right, so
Okay, cool.
you are going to take a dodge action, and then you are going to move. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, where are you
now-
moving to? Well, you can move yourself. You have control, I believe.
I
that
do.
right?
Yeah, I do have control. Now, as for basic armor,
Yes,
am I able to use the basic armor
that's
as
right.
well, or is that an act? Can I use it
No, the basic
in
armor is
tandem with
automatic.
dodge? Oh, sure. Okay, cool. All right, cool. So I'm going to move back down, listening to the command of the captain, and I'll take the dodge of one. And do I take the damage from the other?
Let me just open it up quickly. Absorbs all
Yep,
damage
you're right.
from the first attack made against them. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, cool.
So what happens is these two AI just open up with these Ran rifles and just spray bullets down the corridor directly at you. You dodge out of the way of the first one, then your armor just gets ripped to shreds as it just slams into
That's what
you.
we want.
And then you move. Where are you moving?
Jackson, get back over here. Get back in the hangar.
Follow me, you bucket of bolts, and straight back down.
And then you run down the corridor. Okay, that is what you have done. Dr. Clay.
He looks down at this guy peeling his face off, looks back to the captain and says, "Sir, after we have assessed the patient here, it appears as though this is some kind of a decoy." And his medical hand like whirs and it recoils into a fist and he drives it into his face.
Yeah.
And I'm giving you my martial arts with a cybernetic arm.
Yes.
So take
So
5
happy right
points
now.
of AP damage.
Your insurance is not accepted here.
Yeah. We can't charge him for saving his life, but another one in the tally.
Oh my goodness, 5 points of damage.
Yeah.
You just slam in, and immediately the yellow blood of the Goranian is spilt across the floor. But he looks back at you with these giant bulbous eyes that they all have.
Gross.
And unless anyone speaks Goranian,
I have a universal translator.
well, then you hear him.
So does the doc.
Yeah, so do I.
You all understand what he is saying. It does take a few moments as the translator is kicking in, but effectively he says, "You will make excellent feed." As you strike him. Like I said, yellow blood is oozing from the side of his mouth. That is the doc. Jackson, you have already taken your action. Captain Revan.
Is this person who's bleeding? Is he dead or unconscious? or is he still there?
No, still fine. Well,
Okay.
he got smacked, blood spewed out of his mouth. He still seems to be acting.
I'm at quite close range.
Yes.
This is I'm assuming too close for a phased rifle, maybe too close for a phased pistol. If so, I have a
Pistol's
sword.
fine. You're not
Pistol's
engaged
fine.
in. You're not adjacent to each other, so you are okay.
All right, so I then will take my phased pistol and I'll go feed on this, and I'll shoot him.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Spend your point.
Yo.
That's 10 points
10 points of damage.
So happy.
for the phased pistol. Unless I think
No, that's right.
Okay, excellent.
Damn.
Yes, you have just discharged an illegal weapon, but yes, that's fine.
Oh, is that the illegal? I maybe set my character sheet up incorrectly then. We don't have any marks. I think maybe I give myself the wrong one.
That's
Okay.
all right. I know you had it for whatever reason, but yes, that phase.
My
that
mistake.
Phase blast.
Yeah, he's the captain, so
Yeah.
he's gonna have
Absolutely.
a gun.
Where do you create a perfectly circular hole about the size of a fist through on this person?
I'm gonna go right in between the eyes. Now I see, however, that is going towards our ship, so I'm gonna angle it just so it doesn't actually hit the nose of our ship.
Gotcha.
And I will hope that no other humans aboard this spacecraft have noticed that I've used an illegal weapon, or at least will.
Yeah, as you fire it, it cuts out this great big hole from the side of his head, straight through the brain casing, past all of the brains and into the floor beyond. The whole thing just drops dead instantaneously. There's no questions asked about that. So he is dead and removed from combat as the system puts a skull on him. That then brings us to Murdoch. You are doing what? Following
Akasha, my darling. Akasha.
I
calling
am
to
here.
the AI. Can you please take control of the turret, saying them that at that door to create a killing zone to protect our team? Pretty please.
I shall do so, although I should inform you I am severely injured myself. I don't see anyone trying to protect me from hurt.
I'm on my working on it. And then I proceed to continue. I think I raised the life support to 14.
Nice. Yes.
And I will start with I'm going to do life support one more time, then I'm going to head to the hole.
All right. Absolutely fine. Punchy, you watch as one of the RAN turrets of the Akasha swings around and points directly down the corridor that you have slunk around. Are you going to try and move away? This is the corridor here.
I'd like to back away just a little bit more. You see, there's a barrel or something right there.
Yeah.
I would like to put that between me and the killing field a little bit there.
All right. It is a few moments as all the action is taking place, and then suddenly you hear the sound of the AI clanking down the corridor as they were following after Jackson, and then the very satisfying sound, which is simulated inside the tactical room, but outside you hear it, of the spinning of the RAN turrets as they cycling up, and then the spray of superheated metal just sprays out and completely obliterates both of the AI as they step into the firing arc. There is a brief moment from the ship, Murdoch, as you're repairing it. She says, "I have killed. The life of those AI is on my hands, if I had any hands."
I just give her a thumbs up and I keep continuing.
Oh, sure. Use digits. I have no digits. There is silence for a brief moment.
Existential sarcasm.
I love it so much.
We're out of combat. The space is filling with smoke. Every now and again, an impact from the opposing ship slams into the side of this one. What are you guys doing?
I'll look towards Tick and say, Tick, I'm down to 11. I'm feeling a little tired. Can you give me a stim, please?
Absolutely. And he removes the bloody chunk hand, and you see it spin again, and another needle comes up, and he sort of jabs it into your gun arm, and you regain 6.
Oh, thank you very much.
Nice. As the doctor spends his medicine there to give you back 6. That's good. Keeping the team hale and hearty. Are you guys going to move down the corridor, or is there anything else you want to do specifically here?
Let's group up and move as a unit in case there are any additional threats, AI or otherwise.
On it.
All right. Okay.
Say the word.
The doctor can't. There we go. You've all managed to move down. Okay. And yes, there's this corridor in front of you with the pulsating red lights that are almost mesmerizing.
Guy, I have the scan information from the long way. Do I know what direction the woman's voice is?
Directly down the passageway, and that has now gone very silent.
Yeah, so he points it up. Captain, we would like to remind you of the woman's voice this way, and points straight down the corridor.
Fantastic. Let's move forward.
Okay. You guys make your way steadily down the corridor. I'm going to try and move you as best I can. For those of you that need the help. As you get to the door, it slides open and you see inside it looks like a conference room of some kind. This illuminated hologram is on the map for map purposes only. It is where the hologram would normally stand. The table is not neatly arranged with roses anymore. Those have been thrown across the floor. This gentleman is no longer living, but has sadly died. He was a Grape and Alliance officer. It is now just this woman, Mayal, and standing directly behind her is a Goranian holding a Ran pistol to her head. As you open the doors, he looks at you, Captain. Not one more step or I will obliterate this.
Jax shoots first. Star Wars reference.
You just shoot?
Yep.
All right. It's one of those great moments because you can't miss. Your bullet is true. It sails through. Make your attack. Spend.
Yeah. So I'm going to use Shen. I've named all my weapons, and the Shaniqua is going to be yours. The rifle.
All right. You use Shen. You deal 5 points of damage.
It's a rifle. Does it do 7?
Oh, is it a rifle? Sorry, I thought it was a pistol. Yep, it does.
No, you're right.
7 points of damage. And you slam straight into his shoulder. It causes him to spin slightly. As he does so, the woman, Moral, she is dressed in the very unusual, very wide hat of the religious order of the Grape and Alliance. It is known as the Sisterhood. And they are used primarily as diplomats. They're used as negotiators and that sort of thing. But they have these very wide circular hats. All she does is she brings her head back quite rapidly as you fire and smashes her head into the Goranian's face. As you hit him, he takes 2 steps back. She then steps to the side and she says, "What are you waiting for? Finish him!"
Move out of the way, Rolf!
Oh, she's...
Captain Revan, you're in the front there as far as I can see.
Absolutely, I will use my phase pistol and open fire.
Now I want a phase fist.
Yeah, I want a phase fist.
That too.
All right, you open fire. How do you kill this Goranian?
Yeah.
So I'll this time I'll aim right for the center of mass.
Nice.
Shoot him, and there'll be like a big kind of like smoldering circle. We can see the bulkhead behind as his body then just kind of like slumps and then falls over.
Hell yeah.
Nice. Absolutely, that is what happens. Moral takes 2 steps away from him, and she says, "It's about time. When did my father send you? Come on, let's get off of this ship. Where's your ship? I hope it's fast."
Very fast. Please come with us. As you are aware, your father has sent us to rescue you. Hopefully we won't encounter any other opposition. Let's make all haste back to the ship.
You gotta get me one of those, Captain.
Take it by your tone that you're one in charge of this group?
Well, we have a pretty easygoing, flat based leadership structure. But yes, I'm the
You're
captain.
in charge.
Here we go.
Right, fine. Thank you very much. I appreciate the rescue, she says, as she continues striding down the corridor. She briefly stops at the AI that you have eviscerated, and she sort of rummages around, pulls out one of their rifles, does a double check, cocks it, and then continues forward.
Just
For a
before we
second,
all
I
move
thought
on.
she was a space nun, and now
I
she
did
is
too.
Space nun.
an ass-kicking
Yeah.
space nun.
Yeah.
So,
That's what she's doing. Yeah. You guys following?
Hey, Rev,
I-
can I have a quick word? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I repair the hull.
Nice. Nice. Yes. I'm sorry you were busy going through trying to get the ship as good as she can be.
Hey, Rev. So, just while we're having this quick aside, it occurs to me that we have all the chips here with this one. You wanted to, pull the old scoundrel, get more out of the.
I think that he has probably a lot of sway with the government of this galactic nation. I would hate to incur any additional ire, and with the successful rescue of his daughter, I'm sure that would open us up to additional work potentially on behalf of him. I think have done a pretty fantastic job of not only rescuing his daughter so far, but also we've incurred some damage on behalf of our enemies, removed their dropships. And I'm even wondering if we maybe explore, see what's up north of this path really quickly to see if there's any other potential survivors that we can grab on board quite quick. Any thoughts? Potentially, Tick, do you think it's worth maybe do another scan to see if there are any more humanoids where those AI had been?
I think I can handle that, Captain. And he pulls out the long-range scanner again and gives it another whirl.
All right. You scan the immediate area. Unfortunately, you do not detect any life forms within the near 50 meters of you. The bulkheads on this side appear to have been damaged beyond repair, making any further passage north almost impossible. You can already see from here at the far end of the passageway. Sorry, let me show you. At the far end of the passageway, most of the damage has been sustained, blocking off these corridors. You could continue to look for potential salvage, maybe. But as you are doing that, Morale turns around and she says, "So, my father sent you to rescue me, is that correct?"
Yes, let's get on
Good.
board.
How much are you going to charge me to assassinate him?
Your father.
Wait, what?
When we talked to him, he seemed nervous. I didn't know it was fear of his daughter was why he was nervous. So,
Captain, we would like to suggest that we should speak to the father first and see if we can get additional funds for all of the assistance we provided Team Human, and then
Where did that come from? I thought that my revelation was assassinate
Let's
Captain.
get back on the ship. Remember, we're
All right.
still in the middle
Okay.
of a war zone.
Yeah,
we can
we're in a
discuss all of these details when we're safe on board, sailing away from here.
we are in a ship-to-ship battle. Let us get the hell out of here.
And we're on the wrong
right.
we're on the wrong side of the ship. too.
All right.
Blame Apple Maps. I just said.
I mean, technically, if we take that contract, both sides are the wrong side.
That's true.
Right. Right. This is the conversation that happens as you all scramble aboard the Akasha and disembark, I would imagine, quite swiftly. There is still a major battle going on between the two ships, but it is obvious that they're not paying you any attention anymore. One of the Goranian cruisers appears to have been severely damaged by the remaining two human ships, and it is fairly simple for you to slip into the nebula. The Galarian will keep you safe for a few moments longer anyway, as she masks your passageway, leaving you with Morale, who once again emphatically points out that she will pay you a significant amount of money to hunt down her father.
Right. I heard it wrong. I thought that you wanted us to pay you to assassinate your father.
I did too.
I mean,
That's what I heard as well. So I'm glad we have this clarity on this.
but now that's cleared up. I mean, I want
Merle,
to know
help
why.
us understand why your father just sent us into extreme, profound. Look at our ship, extreme danger to save you. Help us understand why you would want to have him killed.
Having seen your ship, yes, it was a suicidal attempt to come and rescue me. He must have paid you a large amount of money. But did he tell you to destroy the transmission?
Yes, he did, which we
And
did not
did you? Exactly. My father started this war, and I'm going to finish it. He wanted you to come here, and he wanted you to fail. But he wanted to appear as if he had tried to save me. I'm sorry.
Right.
You were used. But let me use you one last time, and perhaps this time it will be for good.
So it's my understanding that your father is a good diplomat, an upstanding individual within this chaotic galaxy. Help us understand the backstory of this.
She looks at you, she pulls out a pack of cigarettes, she lights it
Can I
up,
have
and
one
she
of-
says, "Well, that is for another adventure." And that's where we end today. Thank you, everybody, for playing.
That was
Well
fun.
done.
I hope you enjoyed yourselves. I certainly had a lot of fun.
Love it.
New technology. Big thank you to Foundry VTT for providing us with this platform, and for Dungeon Fog for providing us with all these beautiful maps. And a massive thank you to all of you wonderful players for going along, trying out a new system, and, well, just surviving and doing the best that you possibly could. Just a quick reminder for everybody still watching, where can people find you? Let's start with you, Michael.
You can find me here on YouTube at Unmade Gaming. Just search us Unmade Gaming Plays for hundreds of hours of content.
Fantastic. And I have had the pleasure of playing with you in the past, and it is always
yeah.
a blast. Dreaded GM, where can we find you?
You can find us on all the socials, which is Dreaded GM. We predominantly are on Twitch. We play D&D 3 nights a week on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Australian time, because we are Aussies on our channel as well. And also our YouTube. We have all our archives there, and we should have some more content on there very soon. Okay.
Fantastic. Go check it out. Satine, where can we find you?
That's
Where can't we
everywhere.
find you? Yes.
Can't we find Satine?
If there's anything to do with D&D, I'm probably there. So
Yeah.
at Satine Phoenix, satinephoenix.com, thebardbook.com, satinesquest.com for luxury travel gaming adventures. Every Monday night on my Twitch channel for our couples D&D, and also Tuesdays and Wednesdays on Facebook Gaming, facebook.com/Maze on Planet 7.
There we go. Absolutely. Jameson?
You can find me at Stone Jameson on social media and at apotheosisstudios.com, where you can check out our awesome TTRPG content. So Stone Jameson on social media.
There we go. Links down below. And Seth?
Oh, you primarily find me on YouTube, which is just under my name, Seth Skorkowski. I had a brilliant idea once, because I'm an author, that it would just be easy to link everything to my author name, and then I ended up becoming a bigger YouTube person. I mostly do tabletop philosophy videos, comedic videos, and then game reviews from systems ranging between Call of Cthulhu, Traveler, Conan, old Dungeons and Dragons, the new Aliens, and pretty soon I will be doing a review of Bounty Hunter. So just different games like that. So you can find me there, as well as Twitter and all the usual suspects.
Fantastic. Lovely. Guys, thank you so very much for playing, for giving us your time, and of course to you for watching all the way through to the end. And this concludes our premiere play of Bounty Hunter for July on How to Be a Great GM. Until next time, thanks for watching and happy gaming.